Morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Morning, Edwin. Hope you're good. Hope you guys are doing well. Had a great weekend. Yeah, I was hoping to get a top wick from this current candle that's open, but it did not, so I was willing to take it. Wait, can you guys on Discord hear me? Morning, Zinedine. Hope you're doing good. All good, man, all good. Morning, D. Hope you're good too. Happy new month. Yep. Yes, Akene, if we were to retap basically this resistance or this 4 hour supply, but I am willing to buy just down here. The supply and demand zones are close. Okay. Oh, wait. The supply and demand zones are so close. What would be your preference in this case and why? Okay, let's sort that out. Looking at the 15 without a top wick. Okay, let's respond to the supply one. So we've got this for our supply first, right? And then we've got this resistance. But I'm sure you're talking about this demand zone because they close by, not enough room. So attends, j'arrive. If we go to the 4 hour, right? We have this minor supply because the major supply is all the way up here. We have this minor supply that we reacted to on the 15-minute, which is this point right here. I want to mark it as we go, so okay, so that's this rejection that we have here, and with this coming from a higher time frame one, and the second thing is this bearish momentum was able to break and close below a previous support level, which was this one here, right? I sent this the PDF weekly webinar, not weekly technical, sorry. So we managed to break and close below this minor support on the 4 hour, and we now have that pullback back to this minor supply, giving us basically what we're anticipating now, the Xauusd. So where's my pad 2? Okay. For us to come back down here, and we have enough room to the downside, hence why I'm not really anticipating that this demand will hold long enough to push us all the way up, unless obviously if we break and start closing above this high. If that was to happen, then even this supply won't hold anymore at that point. It's basically like a safe area right now, where you could either, if you get a good setup, sell or buy here, but it's not a long term or you trying to catch a big move at this point. Okay. You don't have a top wick. This candle, right? I also don't have a top wick. So I'm not doing anything without a top wick there. It would be great if it went to that 4 hour and we tapped it again. Preference will be the 4 hour zone. Yeah. But if it gets here, it should not break this and close above. If that happens, then that's the continuation of the bullish move. At that point, I wouldn't be looking for sells anymore. Shameless God is here. Oh man, it's killing the network. That's a bad thing for somebody who needs internet to work, man. These would have been some good tells. No rejection, no top wig, no setup, guys. And the hour, is it hourly? The 30 minutes is just two engulfing kind of. This one is going to be an engulfing, looks like. Engulfing each other. Excuse me. Too chicken to take it on a real account. Damn. All my paper trades win big. They always do, man. You convinced it's a bullish week for gold. I hate to differ on that. I think we're gonna see a pullback this week, provided we break. If we just break and close below this demand, it's a pullback. Oh well, pullback on the higher time frame, continuation on the lower time frame. Could be wrong though, but that's what I'm seeing. We ignored your signal for the sales last week. Hey, we did sell though. We did sell, to be fair. And they were good sells, very good. That trade, I think it was a straightforward trade, isn't it? We went straight to the TPNO. Man, you want to go to test the 4-hour support it created before going back up. Which one? Down here? If that's the case, then we're on the same page. If that's the case, we are on the same page. This is what I'm anticipating. This is something for next week, but for this week, it's this. The leg going down. Because if you were trading on the 4-hour, we have a minor break to the upside, right? Bearish momentum, minor break to the upside, breaking the previous minor resistance. which is this, and closing above. So if you're trading here, you're anticipating buys, and you cannot buy here. You'll be waiting for a pullback to this demand zone, this area pretty much, before price obviously continuing to the upside. Now we're trading on a lower time frame. For us, that's just gonna be probably another momentum move back down to this area, and then we push up. But it could happen though that we react here and then start pushing up from here. Not sure it will go that low. Well, I guess only time will tell. It's a paper trade. I have an alert said where it is right now, though I'm not touching it until it gets to, never mind, it's breaking the highs. I'm looking for buys down here, but for it to close here, I won't take the sell straight away because you need the support to be created before it pushes down. So I'm not really looking forward to trading S&P at this point. This is gold. Yeah, this is definitely gold. Okay, I'm gonna go on a new chart and just mark up what you have there. But I don't know. Let's go on. So you've got, well, the trend line of justice. So you've got this. And support. How is that? It's all the way here. And you got something like this. And obviously you've got the 4-hour supply here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like this. You're correct. Okay, not wrong at all. Just for me, right? I don't use previous resistance turn into support, right? Unless I get the proper confirmations needed, but I don't do that. Where's my line? Why do I always keep looking for it? So this is what you're expecting, those, I'm guessing. I'm just expecting a deeper pullback. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And this is on the 4-hour. So the concept is the same. What would determine whether it holds here or here is what happens in between on the lower time frame. So if we get to either of these points and then we start seeing the bullish momentum kick in again and we start breaking highs, then that is the zone that is going to hold. Because going down here on the 4-hour is not a big move, but on like the 15 minutes, that's a huge stretch, right? That's all the way down here. From here to get to here, we're gonna have some bearish momentum, right? We are gonna have some bearish momentum in between. So now to confirm the bias, the overall anticipation, bias, whatever you wanna call it, that we are starting to head to the upside, you need to see resistances being broken and price closing above them. If that starts happening here, then you know obviously the buys are starting from here. But if we break this and get all the way down here and it starts happening down here, then that's your confirmation that it's gonna be happening over here. But if we break this, then it's shy. Then you know you're completely wrong. But overall, your analysis is correct. It's basically the same thing, eh? That I'm waiting for. You just want it lower. I mean, I just want it lower. You want it higher before taking the buys. Now back to my low. Yeah, I'm already there. You're too slow. I'm already there. The 15-minute. Are you asking about? Oh, I can't. Oh, wait. Sorry. Can you try talking now? But you can't hear me? Or I can't hear you? What do I think about the 15-minute support? Or do I want the 30? Are you talking about this one? This demand? If you're talking about this demand, there is a chance it might hold, and if we get there, I will use it. 100% will use it. I do prefer the 30-minute. I do think we'll at least tap it. If it happens that we reject somewhere here, yeah, I'm taking the buys. But for now, there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it. It's a good demand. And if we get there, I will use it. straight. Benji is here. Morning, Benji. I do think it's a good demand, so guys, remember we've got the trading lessons starting on the 14th. Starting on the 14th. It's beginner friendly, so if you don't know anything, that would be a good place to start. It's basically from scratch. What is trading? What is forex? What is a candle? How to draw support? All that stuff, and then we go into the advanced stuff. Does it include scratch? What do you mean scratch? It's from scratch. There's a support. Go if you, but there's this one too. But I don't. I'm very sus. How you doing, Benji? I think I'm gonna use the 15-minute demand. Which one? The one down here, the one near the 30-minute demand. Okay, that's the good one. I will use that one too if price gets there. Okay, cool. That's where you have your buy limit. Okay. You guys know I don't like limit orders. I prefer stops, though I don't use them though. Simply because of the spread. Bad experience. There's nothing wrong with it though. Yeah, at this point I'm not even where we are. in this middle point. I'm not trying to buy or sell, just waiting for what I need to happen first before I can consider either of them. But what I do know for sure is if we were to get here, I will take it. So that is the buy setup we're waiting for. If we were to come back here, react, fail to break these highs, that's our sell zone. You mentioned you don't normally mark previous supply resistance as support. Why? Standard trading structure states that their areas become support. Well, it's not wrong. It's the first thing. Let me start with it. It's not wrong. So basically, okay, this is the hourly. I want somewhere where it's more visible. Let's go on like the daily. Okay, on the daily here, this is just the examples, right? It looks more accurate. We do have the demands, never got back there. But, for me, it seems more accurate on the higher time frame compared to the lower time frames. So like here we see, I'm not too sure if it did tap it, but it got close. We see, yeah, we did get there slightly. We did get there and we reacted to it. So it is more on point on the higher time frames compared to the lower one. Like here too, we see it did happen. But on the lower time frames, I prefer using the actual demand zones rather than the previous resistance becomes support, because it's the previous resistance becomes support or previous support becomes resistance is not a part of my strategy, the way I trade. Though it is useful to know that they are there and price might react to those zones. And for me, those are like areas where you might consider price to react, yes, but not to take the trade straight up from there, but rather to get the confirmation of aggressive buys or aggressive sells, the retest, and then the continuation. So what that would look like is something like, let's see, an example. trying to look for an example. Yeah, let's just go to the higher time frame. I can spot them easier on the higher time frames rather than the lower time frame. Okay, so we've got this support here, right? I'm not sure how you guys mark it, but got this support. Oh, demand. Broke it, closed below, reacted to it here. So you're anticipating for sells, right? It didn't happen here, but because we had aggressive sells back down. Now, if this is what I would be waiting for, if this is how I was trading, I would wait for price to get back, show that there is no willingness to push up, so carry on pushing up higher, and not break any of these highs that are in this area. But we did break it here. If that was to happen, that will be my confirmation for the sell. So the previous support becoming resistance for us to carry on pushing down. But here instead, what we see is the bullish momentum kicking in, breaking the highs. The moment these highs are broken, forget about it. But here we've got this resistance. I hope this is not a demand that I have. Okay, this was just the example. So we have this resistance become support here. So here it played out very well. So we've got the rejection. Most of you want to buy here already. What I would wait for is we push up, the aggressive buys, come back, the retest of the newly formed demand, and the continuation. This is a perfect example. So we got there to the previous resistance. This is where I'm looking for signs of bullish momentum on the lower time frame, 15, 30. Retest of that newly formed demand, or even if it was to come back here, provided it does not break and close below this support here and the continuation, which is what we see here. So I'm not saying it's not accurate or it doesn't work at all. It's just I wouldn't just take it right off the back. That's why even when with your analysis I said yes, it is possible that we get here and we start pushing up higher. But for me, I would need that bullish momentum to at least kick in before I can take the buys, just to confirm that it is actually going to hold. If not, then I wouldn't even be in the trade. These are just things to help protect myself from making pretty much unnecessary losses. Losses that can be prevented. It looks far away from the current market. Yeah, if you trading short term, because we're trading now, then you're not really looking at this down here. This is for the week. Right now we're here. We're focusing on what's happening right now, basically, pretty much. Oh, we got the webinar today, yeah. Gold right now is reacting to the 15 here, and there's a 30-minute demand here. This one here. The reason I'm not using it is quite simple. It failed to break its previous minor resistance. Wasn't strong enough to break the highs. Yeah, I think the higher time frame serves as guides, or but your play area basically, from uh, going back to the 4 hour, in between here, actually it's all the way here to here. This is your play area, basically, where you're going to be trading your limits. We're not going up here yet, we're not going down here yet. Basically your range for the moment. And then you start going down the time frames to see now where are we more likely heading, where are we more likely to go. Looking at my current chart, where is my range parameter? Well, for right now where we are, it's basically between 33.66 and 33.40. What do I classify as the last leg and the ranges within the last leg? I don't understand your question. Break it down like you're talking to somebody who's dumb. Or if you have a, or if you have like a chart on. Oh, current swing low high. And this makes me remember one video, but anyways. So you're probably talking about this and this, right? This low and basically this high. Swing low, swing high. That's not how I trade though. So I don't know much about that. Can't help you with that. I think it's probably just the the terminologies that probably changed, because if we're looking at it from where we are right now, so this whole area, right? If this is all we have to trade with, then this is considered our major demand, and this is considered our major supply. And then in between you have your minors, obviously, so you got this as your minor supply, and now this is potentially going to be a minor supply if we broke and closed below this support here. So if you're talking about it in that sense, then that's how I consider them. This will be your major demand, this is your major supply, and everything in between is your minors, minor supply, minor demands. Okay. Oh, you thought the main swing low and high determines the major supply and demand. The major supplies or demands for me, how I get it is basically the highest point for the supply. The highest point price has been at within that range, and the lowest point price has been within that range for the demand. So in this same case, this is the lowest point price has been within this range. This is the highest points it's been in this range. So this is our major supply from here. Okay. So if I was to draw it, it's basically this whole thing. Okay. And then this is the lowest point price has been in this range. So that's our demand. But the moment we zoom out, that's no longer true, because the lowest point price has been here now. It's no longer just this, but it's this whole thing, this whole range. So the lowest point is now here. So that's our major demand, which is now on the higher time frame. and the highest point is here. This is gonna be our major supply, and it happens to be a forward supply, and everything in between is now your minor supplies, minor demand zones. And you might find that on the higher time frame, I'm gonna mute YouTube for this. Sorry, YouTube. I was just, yeah, explaining something. And this probably gave. Did it give a setup on the 5? Yeah, it gave a setup on the 5, but I ain't using the 5. We. Enough for me. Nah, I have trust issues. I got trust issues here. No. It has to get down here or we go back up here. Simple. And I want to make gonna make some coffee. Coming back. Because with trading, I am a technical person. I'm not an emotional person, guys, to be honest. You won't find me crying or what's the word you guys use? With anxiety, all the stuff. So yeah, I'm very technical. It's just facts basically. This works, this don't work, and that's that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. It's not fake emotions. Emotions are real. I'm just saying I'm not like an emotional person where you find me crying 1 minute, the next minute, I don't know, in my bed under the blankets for no reason. Next minute, no guys, I don't feel like trading today. I'm not coming live. Last minute, like 10 minutes before the stream, I'm like, guys, no, I don't want to trade again. Nah, I'm not that emotional. That's what I mean. Nah, you guys are getting it wrong. You guys are getting it wrong. Gold is, I don't know what it's want to do now, but um, if I'm playing with emotions, okay, I have to be, how can I put it? Intimate. And this only happens during worship. So guys, uh we're getting what deep into religion, my religion. So I have to be deep, deep in worship for you to feel me, if you get what I'm saying. So that's when I'm more like hmm, I don't know how to explain it, but more intimate in what I'm playing. That's why it's not about just technique. In fact, I can just be playing the simplest codes, triads, and it will be beautiful. If I'm not in that space, I'm playing full technique. You're gonna hear, basically what you wanna hear and all that's pleasing and all that stuff. But in general, in life, I'm not an emotional person. Just so you know. I'm a person like, if you're crying, I might not know what to tell you or what to do. Basically, pretty much, I'm that guy. Maybe hug or something, not a guy though. If you're a guy and you're crying, I'll be like, yeah, bro, get over it. You'll be good or something like that. I don't know. S&P, S&P ain't coming. I separate the two usually, pretty much. Exactly. Yeah, you pretty much just summed up what I was trying to explain. I do s- separate them very easily. Though it is harder for me to get into an emotional state. Yeah. Like with the example, if somebody's crying, I don't know what to do, man. I'll just be like, okay, bro, calm down or some shit like that. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else is like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 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 I'm the guy, man. I know it sounds horrible, but yeah, but there's like a point where you actually get serious and you feel maybe what everyone, like if I'm in a room where everyone is sad, yeah, I might not be sad, but at a certain point, maybe when they start crying or something, that I might feel like it needs to be like deep. Like if it's just like level one or two kind of sad, forget about me, man. You won't find me there. But if it's deep where it hits me, then yeah, I might connect it. I have a lot of trouble with it. Yeah. Will I get? Do I get a lot of a lot of trouble for it? Probably before, but now not as much because I think we're all adults now, so everyone knows how to think. I'm hoping. But when it comes to being a technical person, the problem that I have with it though is some things I think are obvious. Like, let me think of a quick example. You do a job, and let's say the person agreed that you do the job, you'll never agreed, let's say, to an amount, and he said, okay, I'm gonna give you something when you're done. So if it's a good enough job, you're expecting at least you have like a range. So logically speaking, you're expecting something good, and then the person comes and gives you, I don't know, in rands, 10 rands, euros, it's, let's just say 10 euros, or USD, it's 10 USD. Now that's not a logical thing now, is it? If you did a good job, a hard job, and the person gives you 10 bucks. For me, the way I think, I would find that very weird and offensive and stuff like that. You get. So what would think is normal and easy for me to do, I'd be like, okay, this is a good thing, blah blah, give them that. It's not so obvious for another person. That's what I found it, and I'm trying to work on that because apparently, someone said I have that problem and I have to communicate more. Yeah, yeah. So it's something I'm working on. Because I just expect it to happen, I'm like, okay, this person's a human and they have a brain, they can think. So, voila, use your brain, man. I don't really like spelling out everything A, B, C like that. But then there are points where yeah. Yeah, yeah. When, when you're explaining like that, I don't like, because something that's obvious, right? Or that is, I think, is considered obvious for everyone around the world, is not something I would want to explain to somebody, especially an adult. Like, you should be doing this instead of that, or something like that. Because I don't know, I don't know, the person is not okay in the head or something. But yeah, I'll tell you guys a story. Wait, I'll tell you guys a story. I was called to go play the piano somewhere for a month, right? And Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. True. But I think a lot of things can be avoided provided both parties, so if it's two people or more, have a talk or communicate before actually doing the thing. And that's the error that I made, because I'm using myself as an example, because I don't know a lot of people. Because what I did was I went, that's the first thing, and when we spoke, he was like, at the end of the month, what I have, uh, I'll give you something. And I was like, okay, cool. But I didn't communicate the fact that maybe he doesn't know, like, let's say the price ranges of hiring a pianist, or what's the minimum amount you could give a pianist and all that. So in a sense, that's also me playing a bad role in this scenario, not knowing how to fully communicate how things work in, let's say, that industry or in that field. So if both parties can be like, let's have a serious conversation and see exactly how we're gonna do it at the end, that would be that would have solved a lot of embarrassment. So yeah. Yeah, it's not the money. It's not the money in this scenario, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. True. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. But all that can still be solved. Yeah, yeah, go on. Go on, Shameless God. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. True. Exactly. Bingo. That's the correct way of thinking of it. Though moving forward, what mm, though I think with me, what I learned from that scenario was not the whole process of the playing and then the end of it, how it ended, but how it started. Because obviously, when you don't have a fixed agreement, it's let me see what happens at the end, and I'll give you what I think is suitable, not knowing everything behind it. That's the first problem, because one, he's acting uh based off of his own knowledge, not really necessarily knowing exactly how the whole thing goes. So he might just think, just like us, we might just think any other small, let's say, gig, where we hire somebody, we might just think, ah, man, these guys don't make much. They make probably 25. So if I give him 50, that's a lot. Not knowing that it's probably a gig that they really do charge. Let's say somebody who wants to come and paint and maybe, I don't know, renovate. you might see the person, it's a wine person, and you'll be like, man, this is an easy job. I can get him to do it for 1,000 rands or euros or something, not knowing like the minimum for that is, let's say, 5,000. Now, if you don't communicate that, you will never know, and at the end, the person finishes a job like that, um, and you give him 1,000, the person might slap you. Oh man, you get what I'm saying. So, but if it was communicated in the beginning that, hey, this is the minimum amount that I would get normally for this job, and also this is obviously your range minus expenses, right? No, excluding expenses because you're gonna have to make your own expenses for, I don't know, equipment and not equipment, but the tools, let's say the screws and all this stuff. So that's a different thing because that sets a different tone. You'll know what y'all are working with, or basically the goal for that project and the end results. So a lot of things can be resolved with just communicating from the start, and that is a problem that I suffer with. I am a victim, a proud victim. Yeah. Yeah. It depends. If it's my friends, man, you're gonna do the job. But in a serious note, though, we would discuss. I want to know how much you charge before I can put you exactly. Exactly. And no. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm blaming myself. Yeah. Before. Yeah. I mean, who builds a house? Exactly. Who builds a house without knowing the costs, right? I mean, it might even go overboard, but you need to know at least the minimum amount you're gonna spend is probably 5K. It might fluctuate, it might go up higher, but it's gonna be within that range. Rather than let me start and see how it goes. You setting yourself up to fail in the way. You've done it in the past and got burned so many times. Yeah, even me, it's not the first time. It has happened before. That's why I'm saying it's a problem that I know it's something that I fail to communicate because, well, being kind, and that's a big problem. Yeah, yeah. It's very hard. Yeah, for 100 rand, even 100 rand. You know what I did? Yeah, yeah. You know what I did when I was starting out, when I was studying G-Web design in SA. At first, because I at that time I just discovered that I could do it using templates, WordPress, and all that, and I wanted to attract more customers, clients, and all that. And I was like, some people, I'm like, man, I'm gonna make it for free. you know, and then you just, share and all that. That after that, those people that come after you, they're gonna pay. Even then, the people that come, I was like, I'm gonna do it for like 50 rands. And at that time, I didn't really research the price ranges because it's a very broad range. It can range from 50 rands to thousands, right? So you need to know at least what level you're in. And then I started making it for like 50 rands, and then I'm like, nah, this is too small. Then I increased it for, I don't know, how much was it? 150. So, but even at that point, because you're including domain name and the registration and then the monthly fees. So my target though was, I think you can use this. You're still in SA, so if that's what you do, my target is to get the client, build the website, and have them paying monthly. Man, this is not a financial stream, guys. I'm not here to teach you all how to. But anyways, yes, that's the best part. Because I had an issue with that when I moved, right? I moved, so I'm here now, and majority of the clients are in SA. Some were like, "Where do I pay now?" Because sending the money. So I still have an account there. I'm like, "No, you carry on paying there. Everything is fine." Some of them were still having issues, and then when they don't pay, the money gets taken from my account, right? And then they give me, and I take the profit. Basically, the difference, guys. I'm basically teaching y'all literally the business thing y'all can do. It's very easy. So you just, let's say the domain monthly, obviously keeping it running is, I don't know, I'm not just gonna use 50, and you charge the person 100. So you split the difference. Every month the person pays 100, you take out 50, and you have 50 profit. Okay, and over time it's just profit coming in and you're not spending anything. But now when they wanna uh, change domains, then you start having them issues, them back and forth. Oh, I want to change my domain, create a new email listing, all that stuff. That's where you're gonna have issues because they're paying you for that monthly, and if you don't know how to do that, you might struggle, but it's still very easy. All right, Ekine, man, I should do a course on this business, man. I just gave you free information. It can be. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. But what I did, because that's what I wanted to do, so that I can keep that monthly income coming. So when I told them it's to obviously have the website running and for maintenance, so I would do all of those stuff for them if they pay obviously every month for that fee every month. But now it gets tricky when you start having other things to do. You get, like, let's say you get a job now, an actual job and all those stuff. You're not able to maintain doing the websites and all. But I don't think it's a huge issue. I never had that issue because with the website, depending on how complex it is, you can do it in an hour or you can do it in days, right? Maintaining it after that is also relatively easy because if a person wants a new email created, that won't even take 5 minutes. Okay, but you just need to let them know of their storage limit, how many gigs of storage they have on the website, what the website is able to handle, guys. Though we're not selling we're not selling from here. We fail to break these lows. We're gonna be ranging for a minute on gold. Gold is torturing new traders. I bet you it is. I bet you it is. But yeah, it is a good business, eh? Because I never had to work, uh, like in school getting part-time jobs and all because I was doing that. So I was very chill. And high school holidays, man, I was the one guy because I would go to town and most of my friends are working in the towns and all. So I'll be walking around and just going to visit them because I got nothing to do, you know. So I just go visit them. I'm like, hey, how much is this? I know I'm not buying anything. How much is this? Okay, how much is this? And then just annoy them for no reason. Well, another thing you can do, man, I'm just giving you all free money advice now. Another thing, well, this one is not free. You need at least some form of capital. Is in South Africa, it's a runner. So you post goods on your status, all that stuff, and then people order them. You get the orders, the sizes, and you go to town. That's another thing I was doing. So I go to town, you buy them stuff, and you go to deliver them. And obviously they pay you. You gotta charge them though. So you'd find me going up and down, and that's basically what kept me from actually working in those stores and all. And that one, surprisingly, it's my mom that showed me that. Okay. Mhm. Yeah. Oh, nice. That's one business we wanted to do. It wasn't my idea. It was one of my friends. His name was Albert. I was like, man, Exe. This is South African. It's like, Exe, bro. You check this thing here. With that light, you're gonna get crowned. So basically, we buy the machine and all. For some reason, we never did it because we were too broke. We couldn't even afford the machine. So. Yeah, it needs capital, man. So we didn't have it. I think that time it was around what 2021, 2022 around there. Recently. They don't have the printer. You go to town and all. Yeah. Exactly. I think any business you could start like that too, including well, web design. Actually, let's not even talk about that. That one you can start it with zero, absolutely zero rent. Literally, it will get you the first money that you need, pretty much. So yeah, and then any other business, printing. What you can do is exactly what you just explained. You got the printing machine. I have a client. I don't tell the client about you. I'm like, hey, I have the machine. I can do it and all for you. And you give them a flipping hasty price because I'm now the middleman. And then I come to you and I'm like, hey, I want this and this. You get, and you make it for me, and then I give it to the person. The only thing is, I charge more compared to you because I need to obviously make some profit. But then it's a higher amount for the client. But hey, this is life, hey, and you pay for what you don't know. You pay for what you don't know. Yeah, I always forget. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, every day, and they make millions too. There's some that make millions year per year. Yeah, because what I learned, the phrase you learn, you pay for what you don't know. I learned it from our landlord in South Africa. Because this guy, if something gets broken, he's not sending anybody to come and fix it. He's coming himself. I don't know. He can be in the province or what. He'll come there like the next week. We obviously arrange, and he'll come and fix it. And then I was just with him the other time. He was fixing the geyser, and then he's like, man, see this thing, if you don't know, you're gonna pay for it. Someone else will charge you, I don't know, lots of money. So in life, you pay for what you don't know. So if you don't know something, you're gonna pay somebody else to get it done. Pretty much. That's how I was like, oh, okay, so you pay for what you don't know. And I just keep on saying that. Yeah. If you don't know how to, you're gonna pay somebody to teach you how to. And only when you do know, then the expense for that specific thing stop. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. Mm. Look at that. That is a I'm telling you. So you pay for what you don't know. And one of my friends, the same guy that wanted us to do the printing business, he was working previously part time in one of these I don't know what they call them, factories or something, where they get the shoes and then they put the Nike tick on it and all that stuff. Right? So that's where he was working. It's in town. I don't know if this is legal or not. Hey, don't come for me. I didn't do it. But like the shoe on its own, it's like 50 rands. And then they just put the tick logo for the Nike and all, and straight away that's 150 rands or 200 rands in the store. And they put it in the store. That's what they were doing there. Yeah, you'll get fake alcohol. How? I know. Damn. The hell is fake alcohol? They put spirit. You guys might not know what spirit is. I don't think they know what spirit is. Um, Spirit is, how do I explain spirit, guys? You need to see it to know. It's basically, guys, for the guys, when you go cut your hair and then they trim you, there's this thing they spray on you that hurts, right? That alcohol thing. That's spirit. Eh? Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can. That thing you're not supposed to consume it, man. Oh man, I can't even find a picture of it. Yeah, yeah. fake alcohol, man. They're on another level. Oh man, guys, we ain't getting shit. We're not getting a trade this session. I'll see you for the webinar in what, a few hours, and the New York session. Do we have news? Let me check before we go. No, we don't have news. Okay, cool. Let's go. So an hour before New York session, guys, we do have the webinar. I'll see y'all then. Don't forget YouTube. The trading lessons start on the 14th, next week Thursday. So if you want to join, you can join. And with it, there is access to the private mentorship for the duration of the lessons and a month after that. So that's like what, 2-3 months, I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I see you for the webinar. All right. Oh, what time is it's an hour before New York session. All right.